I'm Karen Nelson, and you're listening to Becoming You Again, episode number 101. Welcome to Becoming You Again, the podcast to help with your mental and emotional well-being during and after divorce. This is where you learn to overcome the trauma of your divorce by reconnecting with yourself, creating lasting emotional resilience, and living a truly independent life so your life will be even better than when you were married. I'm your host, Karen Nelson. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so glad that you're here. Yes, we are in the 100s. We are in the triple digits. This is amazing. I'm very excited about this. I hope that you are doing great. I'm just going to jump right into today's podcast episode because it is about trust. And I think this might be a big one for a lot of you. I often have women asking me how to trust again. They are so worried that after getting out of a marriage where their partner cheated on them or was addicted to porn or gaslighted them or abused them in some way or another, that they just won't ever be able to find a way to trust someone in the future. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in today's podcast. And I think I'm going to introduce some ways of thinking about trust that you probably never thought of before. And if that's the case, I just kind of want you to take a moment to think about this, let it process, and question whether or not this is a way that you want to think about trust moving forward. Because again, anything that I teach you, you get to decide for yourself if this resonates with you and if this is something that you want to use moving forward. All right, so basically, we are taught that trust is something that is built or given to us from someone else when their words match up with their actions. This person does what they say or follows through with my expectations of them, right? But in my opinion, I think that that's just kind of a very surface level definition of trust. Because here's what's really fascinating about trust. We will tell ourselves, I want to trust this person implicitly. And then when we do that, we give complete responsibility over to that person to decide how we're going to feel in certain situations. So it's kind of like saying, here's my emotional remote control. I'm giving it to you, and I'm trusting you to only push the button that says, feel good all of the time. And I'm trusting you that you will never push the button that says, feel bad sometimes. And I'm trusting you with this emotional remote control, and you better not create any feelings that I don't want to have and only create feelings that I do want to have. But what if trust was something more? Something that you have much more control over than you actually realized. And instead of handing over your emotional remote control to that person, you kept control of your emotional remote control. And you were still able to figure out what trust meant when it comes with relationship to yourself and relationship to other people. Because ultimately, what we are really seeking when it comes to trust is a sense of safety and security. We think something like, I trust him, and then that creates a feeling of safety. And this can show up in so many ways. You can think about this about a new partner, like, I trust him, and then you'll feel physically and emotionally safe in their presence. And you believe that they will be there to listen to you, take care of you, provide for you, whatever it is, right, that you are seeking when it comes to safety. That's the meaning behind those words, I trust you. And you can think about this when it comes to your kids, like, I trust you, and then feel safe and secure that they're not lying to you, that they love you and they respect you as their parent. You can think about this in terms of like your financial advisor or your doctor or your neighbor or your best friend. Like, I trust you. I feel safe giving you my money and taking care of it as my financial advisor, like it was your own. There are so many different relationships in our lives where this idea of trust is present, and with it comes that sense of safety within us. But here's where trust gets really interesting. Someone could be saying one thing and then doing something completely different, and yet we may not have all of the facts about this person and their actions, and we still have the thought, I trust this person, and then I feel safe. This happens all the time. right? I could give thousands of examples of this happening, and I'm sure you already have thought of a few examples on your own where this has happened in your own life with other people and other relationships. In fact, just the other day, I was watching the show Dopesick. Have you seen this show? Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's on Hulu, I believe, but it is a drama, and it's based on the story of OxyContin and how it was kind of peddled to doctors as this non-addictive narcotic that could be prescribed for even mild pain symptoms because it was supposedly non-addictive. And then in actuality, it is one of the most addictive opioids out on the market. But in this show, patients trusted their doctors who were saying, you can take this and it's going to help with your pain and you're not going to become addicted to it. And then doctors are trusting the pharmaceutical reps who are providing them all of this, scientific, and I'm putting that in quotes, scientific information. And things are being said and patients are thinking, this is my doctor. I trust him. I feel safe. And then they're taking this medication and then becoming addicted to the medication, right? So things like this happen all of the time. We think one thing, we don't know the full action of what's happening, and we decide to feel safe even though in actuality something else is going on. Or maybe you have a partner who had been looking at porn your whole marriage and you didn't know, and you had a thought, I trust this person and I feel safe around them. And then you find out about the porn use and you confront them and they come clean and they tell you the truth. And they're like, yes, I have been looking at porn for years and I'm sorry. And I'm telling you the truth now. This has been hard for me. And yet your thoughts change immediately to, I can't trust you. I feel unsafe. Even though for your whole marriage, they had been lying to you and you had thoughts that created a feeling of safety. And now they've told you the truth. They've come clean and suddenly you no longer trust them. All of this is what makes trust such a fascinating, nuanced concept. And really, it points to the fact that trust is ultimately a choice based off of the facts that we have at any given time. So I think the real work to do when it comes to trust is first being able to trust yourself. You need to recognize that it is impossible for someone else to create how you think and how you feel. That is always in your control. Someone else's words and actions, they do not create a positive or a negative feeling inside of you. And so when you can learn to accept yourself and take responsibility for your own emotional state, that's when you can learn to trust yourself that no matter what, you are going to protect yourself, make yourself feel safe, and take care of yourself in whatever way that means. You can learn to trust yourself that no matter what someone else's thoughts and feelings are that are driving them to act in whatever way, you are going to accept responsibility for yourself and manage your mind and be in charge of your own emotional life and trust yourself to create that feeling of safety for you. So when we take this all and we kind of look at it in terms of starting a new relationship after divorce or after a breakup, right? And not feeling able or capable to trust someone else. The reason this feels so hard and so daunting is because you've been telling yourself that you need that person to behave in a certain way so that you can feel a certain way. You need them to not cheat on you so that you don't have to feel rejected or betrayed or sad. And then we spend a lot of time in this new relationship worrying if what they're saying is true, wondering if their words and actions are matching up. And we are showing up in this way with so much fear around whether or not we can trust them that we end up not trusting them. We act weird, we act accusatory, sometimes we're sneaky and we're trying to figure out, oh no, are they texting in the middle of the night? Are they texting someone else? Are they cheating on me? What's happening? And we can't let it go, first of all, in our own head. So we're not managing our own minds. And we end up not being able to trust ourselves that we will be able to take care of ourselves if they did cheat on us, if they are cheating on us, if that fact presents itself to us. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What would it look like if you began to build trust in yourself that you are going to be able to handle your emotions and create safety for yourself no matter what someone else does or says? Do you know what safety feels like in your body? Have you ever felt it? And if so, for how long? How long were you able to create that for yourself? Think of a time when you did trust yourself. What did that look like? What were you thinking? What did that trust feel like in your body? Did it feel safe? What did that safety feel like? You are allowed to go into a new relationship deciding that you are going to trust this person and deciding that you are also going to trust yourself. And then, as you continue in this relationship and as more facts about this person are revealed or become known, that's when you have the opportunity to step up and trust yourself to take care of you in the ways that you need in order for you to feel safe, in order for you to feel secure. All of that comes with self-trust. It's not going to come from someone else. It has to come from you. And let me be very clear here. This doesn't mean that if you get into a new relationship and that person is mistreating you or cheating on you or abusing you in some way, that all you have to do is tell yourself, well, it's fine. They can do whatever they want because I can just manage my own mind and trust myself to create my own safety. That is not what I'm talking about at all. What this means, when you know how to trust yourself, when you've created self-trust, it means that if you find yourself in a relationship where someone is mistreating you or abusing you or cheating on you, that you will take the actions necessary to protect yourself, to keep yourself safe physically or mentally or emotionally or all three, and you trust yourself that you will do what needs to be done. And if that means you leave the relationship, then you trust that you are going to do that and that you will be okay. And if that means something else, you go to therapy, I don't know what it means for you. Only you will know what that means for you. But building that self-trust is where you will understand and know the answer that is right for you in that moment. So I know thinking about trust in this way is probably new for most of you. And so if your brain feels a little bit broken or a little bit confused, that's okay. This is a concept that maybe is going to take a little bit of time to kind of really sink in and create understanding around. New concepts can do that to us, and it's not a problem. And so if you are feeling this way, I want to invite you that if this resonates with you, or you are wanting to learn how to trust yourself on more of a deep level like this, that schedule a consult with me, and we'll talk about what it is that you are looking to create in your life. And then we'll figure out how we can make that a possibility for you. I offer a free consult, and you can schedule that by clicking the link in the show notes, or you can go to KarenNelsonCoaching.com and you can schedule there. But I promise you that creating self-trust is never going to be a bad thing in your life. When you can rely on yourself and trust yourself to make decisions from a place of love and acceptance and safety and creating that for yourself, you will know that you will always be taken care of. No matter what is going on and happening outside of you, what people are saying and doing, you will always have a trust of yourself and a knowledge that you will take care of yourself in whatever way that looks like, whatever that means for whatever situation that shows up in your life. So if that is something that you want more of and you want to know how to do, I can teach you how to do that. I can guide you to that place to where you trust yourself in a way that you never have before. And that is only going to enhance your relationship with yourself and enhance your relationships with other people in choosing to trust them moving forward. All right, my friends, thank you so much for listening. That is what I have for you this week. I will be back next week. If you like what you're learning on the podcast and you're ready to create lasting change and results in your life, then you need to be working one-on-one with Karen as your divorce coach. This is where we take everything you're learning in the podcast and 10x it with implementation and weekly coaching, where you start to see change in yourself and your life immediately. To find out more about how to work exclusively with Karen, go to www.KarenNelsonCoaching.com. www.karennelsoncoaching.com. That's www.KARINNELSONcoaching.com. Thanks for listening. If this podcast agreed with you in any way, please take a minute to follow and give it a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And for more details about how I can help you live an even better life than when you were married, make sure and check out the full show notes by clicking the link in the description.